The door closes behind you. Not violently. With a calm that is worse than any violence. A metallic sound. Dry. Definitive. As if the world had just sealed something that can never be undone. There are many of you. Around you there are figures. Not people. Not yet, you can't call them that. Because doing so would mean admitting what you too would one day become. Too many for the space you occupy. Bodies pressed together without meaning to. The human warmth that should be a comfort brings no comfort here. And then, from somewhere above your head, a sound begins that you had never heard before. A soft sound, almost innocent, like rain on a tin roof on a summer night. But this is not rain. And in that instant, in the exact instant when your lungs begin searching for air that is no longer quite there, your mind sends you back to the past. You live in a small town in Poland. One of those towns that appears on maps as an insignificant dot, and that for you was the center of the known world. With its market, its synagogue, its streets that you know by heart, even though you never set out to learn them. You work in your shoe shop. Everyone knows where you live. Everyone knows your name. And almost everyone has at some point walked through that door with tired feet and walked out wearing something better. Your father built that shop with his own hands 30 years ago. In a small town, a shoemaker is not just a shoemaker. You are the man who knows that the baker's son has a left foot bigger than his right, that the new teacher needs something comfortable because she's on her feet all day. You know the feet of this town better than anyone. And that, in some way that's hard to explain, makes you feel that you belong here, that you are part of something. But then the posters came. The restrictions. The words that were at first uncomfortable, then dangerous, then so normal in their danger that they almost stopped surprising anyone. You couldn't go to certain places. You couldn't own certain things. You couldn't be, in certain ways, what you had always been. A moment came when the town you knew by heart stopped recognizing you. And the train arrived on a Tuesday. Or maybe it was a Thursday. The days had lost their names long before, and names had lost their weight. They told you that you were going to be relocated. The wagon was a cattle car. You didn't fully understand it at first. Then you did. When the doors were shut from outside and the darkness became complete, and the space you occupied was exactly the space of a human body pressed against other human bodies, unable to move, unable to sit down, unable to do anything but breathe air that grew heavier with every hour. You traveled like this for 3 days. 3 days without enough water, without being able to see outside, without knowing where you were going. Beside you traveled people you had known your whole life, and also strangers. And all of you shared that particular silence of people who have understood that something has broken in a way they still don't know how to measure. When the doors opened, the light of Poland rushed in. Summer light, absurdly bright, over a platform unlike any other platform. There were uniforms. There were dogs. There were voices giving orders in a language some understood and others didn't, but whose tone was universal. It was not the tone of someone welcoming you. The selection took only minutes. One line to the right, one line to the left. The camp was called Auschwitz-Birkenau. It was the largest complex of camps the Nazis had built. Not one camp, but a system, a network of connected sites spread across the plain, with a logic that was hard to grasp from inside, but that from above, from a distance, had a perfectly calculated shape. The first night, they took your clothes, they took your hair, and they took everything you carried with you, any object that had touched your previous life, anything that could remind you of who you were. And then they gave you a number. Not a new identity, just a number, tattooed on your forearm with a needle that hurt less than you'd expect, and that would leave a mark that hurts, more than you could ever have imagined. You no longer had a name. That was the first thing you had to understand. The system had not been designed only to lock you up. It had been designed to make you disappear into yourself, to erase resistance before you even had time to decide whether you wanted to resist. The barracks were wooden structures originally designed for horses. In each one, hundreds of people slept on 3-tiered bunks, on paper mattresses stuffed with something that gave off no warmth, under blankets that were never enough for the cold of that Polish plain, where the wind arrives without warning and without apology. The hunger was constant. Not the hunger of a single day without food. A different kind of hunger, deeper, more permanent, that over time stops being merely physical and becomes something that occupies every thought, that colors everything you see, that makes the body begin to consume itself in silence. Weeks passed, even months. They separate you from the group without explanation. You and others. There is a path you hadn't walked before, and now you walk it without knowing where it leads. Because asking is not something one does here. Because questions stopped having answers long ago. They tell you that you have to shower. You go in. The door that closes with that dry, definitive sound. The darkness that isn't quite darkness. The bodies pressing together without meaning to. The 4 holes in the ceiling. The sound that begins. Soft. Almost innocent. You feel your lungs working harder than usual. It isn't panic yet, though panic is there, waiting just behind every thought. It's something more physical than panic. It's the body searching for what it needs and not quite finding it. The dizziness comes slowly, not all at once, like a tide rising unhurried because it knows it has all the time in the world. The edges of everything grow blurred. The sounds around you lose their shape. You think of your name. Your name. There is no more cold. There is no more number on your arm. Only darkness. Soviet soldiers arrived at Auschwitz-Birkenau on January 27, 1945. They found 40,000 shoes. They found 7 tons of human hair in sacks. 7 tons. And a few thousand survivors who at that moment still could not fully grasp what it meant for someone to open the doors from outside. More than 1 million people had been murdered in that infernal place. Most of them Jewish. Most of them brought from all across Europe in cattle trains, convinced that the transport would take them somewhere better. Each of those people had a name. That is what must be remembered. Not the number. Each one of those names